Okay. I think it's good to do maybe a little recap of days 1, 2, 3. Day 1 was really not easy, but probably medium. It was 3 miles, so 5 kilometers over about 1,800, 900 feet of elevation, 550 meters. So a little bit harder than an average Washington hike, I would say.
I think so.
But pretty doable.
Yeah, and then the second day was...
And it took us like 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
So...
And then we had our tents right near the toilets, which were a bit stinky. But, you know, I think it was a rough first night for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, we made it through it.
And then second day was our hottest day yet. But today, day 4 is going to be hotter. So what was day 2?
Day 2 was it 7 kilometers or 5? I think it was 5 kilometers, right?
No, it was 7 kilometers.
Yeah, it was 7 kilometers over 3,000 feet. But the hard thing about it is it went up and down a lot. So it was actually more than 3,000 feet. We think it was around 4,000 feet.
Probably 4,500 because we got to 4,000 feet and then we came down to 3,000. But there were a lot of up and downs in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would say, like probably 4,500 feet of total over the 7 miles,
and then
which is a lot.
So that was to Shira Camp 1, which was really great, actually. It had an amazing view. That was the first time we actually saw
the mountain. From day 2.
The mountain's right behind us in the cloud cover, but from day 2, we saw the mountain for the first time, and that was really cool. And the bathrooms were actually really nice, and most of our team pooped that day, which I was incredibly jealous of because
not me.
I didn't poop yet. And then, you know, we had a really cold night. That was freezing. We all had headache. I mean, I had a huge headache, and I went to bed at 7.
I was fine.
Yeah.
I have been fine. The altitude hasn't affected me too much, but I think we're all feeling like more labored. Effort when we're moving. It's a lot harder
to do anything.
Yeah, our breathing is heavier, our heart rate is elevated, and just like the processing, thinking of information, everything is like a little slower. Yeah. But day 2 was really rough because I think we took about 5 hours, just under 5 hours total, a bit over 4 hours walking, and then a little bit resting and snacks and stuff like that. And it took a lot of us, but today is going to be even hotter.
And then
yesterday, what was day 3?
Day 3, we woke up and I think you finally crapped, right? Yes. That was the big achievement for you, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I was feeling like, but I was like, no, I'll make it. And we had a really easy hike yesterday. It was just 10 kilometers, but it was not that
flat.
Yeah,
800
really flat.
Feet elevation, 250 meters.
Which in the grand scheme of things is super easy.
Yeah.
So, and then we got to Shira Camp 2, which is currently where we're filming.
And it took us like 3 hours to get here. 3 hours, 10 minutes.
It was really quick.
Super straightforward.
And then after we got here, we had lunch and we did a really quick like day hike, just up 500 meters or so.
Yeah.
So not a big deal. But we're really high now, so it's much more difficult to do anything, like we said. And then I crapped for the first time, which was very nice. And now we're getting ready for day 4 after our 3rd night. Day 4 is going to be over 3,000 feet of elevation gain. Yep. We're going to be visiting a lava tower. Unfortunately, Mary had kind of rough sleep. But I
only got 5 hours of sleep. The downside of my altitude sickness pill, which is a little different to everyone else, they all have Diamox. I have a steroid one because I'm allergic to sulfur. And one of the side effects is that I won't be able to sleep very well at night. So I've been getting from 5 to 6.5 hours of sleep, which is not ideal, but I also have not had bad altitude symptoms at all. Like I think I'm the only one in the group so
You haven't
far.
had any headaches for that?
No headaches, no nothing. So
and then,
really lucky.
And then I got lucky and I slept like 8 fucking hours, which was fantastic. It was so nice, sleeping 8 hours. I went to bed at 7 p.m.
I'm jealous.
I went to bed at 7 p.m., woke up at 11:30 to pee, went back to bed, woke up at 3 a.m. to pee, went back to bed eventually. I think I got a little over 8.5 hours, so it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we're gonna get ready and go.
Yeah, and
We had just had breakfast.
just one last point. We could not have done this without the help that we got on this amazing tour. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn to these guys over there. Those are our porters, and they are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
There's 16 of them.
There's 16 in the group. As I said, 12 porters, and then we have our guide, Philbit, our assistant guide, Ramadan, our cook, William, and the assistant waiter, and he does all sorts of things, and his name is Davide. So we don't know the names of our porter yet, but we'll ask maybe Philbit to introduce us later in the day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They go up every single day. They climb over 10,000 feet.
The three of them.
And get fresh food every single day, which is insane. But they do it, and it's pretty wild and very impressive.
So yeah, we probably won't be speaking much for the rest of the day because it's such a hard climb. But
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
will
have to save our
film
energy.
parts of it.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We woke up to another moody cloud day, but the mountain is out in full. It's just really nice to walk around in the quiet in the morning. Okay, team, we're on day 4. How's everyone doing?
Making it pretty good.
Yeah? How did everyone sleep last night?
I slept okay.
I slept a solid 8.5 hours.
Did you really?
I slept.
He slept super well.
Got up at 11:30, peed, immediately went back to bed. Woke up at 3, peed, and then slept for like another half hour.
Jealous.
That's awesome.
I didn't sleep very well.
I didn't sleep very well either.
I
kinda
woke up at like 1, and
Yeah.
it's been kind of just,
up and moved
I'll
down.
repeat what I said. This is not vacation.
it's an adventure. So we have Malmira in the distance there, and then the toilet over there.
Oh, make sure you get the toilets.
Yeah, it's key. And Zahra and Chris in matching yellow jackets.
Always.
Always. Chris and Bejan, how's your altitude discomfort?
This morning I feel great.
It just waits till I want to go to sleep to kick in.
No headache?
Not today, not this
Okay.
morning.
Are you going to take one of Bejan's pills, Chris?
I'm going to
Okay.
take 5.
Look at the white-necked raven.
Oh yeah, they're huge. They're like chickens. So, fun fact that we learned yesterday, we've got 16 porters. We thought it was, well, we have a team of 16. We thought it was a team of 14, but it's actually 16 people. And we have 3 porters that run up and down the mountain every day to get fresh food for us, which is, they're such champions. I believe they take like 3 different routes.
Yeah,
They
to
go the
connect to our
shortest
camp.
route.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got a
That
guide.
also means they're going 8,000 feet. They're going like 9 to 10,000 feet of elevation every day.
Insane.
It's really wild. Because we were wondering how does all the fresh food get here.
Yeah.
And our guy was explaining yesterday that we have people that are running up and down the mountain
I know,
for
it
us.
feels weird to eat like chicken on day 6.
Yeah.
Day 3, day 4. I'm like, how are they storing that? Do they have dry ice or something? Nope.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah. I don't know. That's insane.
See these ravens?
And we've got a guide, an assistant guide, a cook, and we've got a waiter, I guess, but he does all sorts of things. He also sets up our toilet for us. So we've got,
I think we have one person specifically for the toilet.
yeah, and then we've got 9, no, more than that. We've got 12 porters.
We should get back for food.
It is, yeah.
Let's do it.
6:36.
Let's do it.
After food, we said goodbye to our fellow hikers and got ready for the day.
We will make some braggers.
Nice, Alpha. Got a performance.
So we are above 14,000 feet now, and everyone's doing well. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing great.
Zahra?
I'm on top of Rainier.
Yay! Yeah, we are like basically on top of Rainier, and this landscape has completely changed. It's like a moonscape. It is really surreal. If you can see, it's all black rocks. A lot of shrubbery. Little shrubbery. I think we're in zone 4 now. Alpine desert. Which one is the lava tower?
It's the second one.
Oh.
And then the second one behind it.
That is so cool.
Oh, can we see it?
Yeah, that one.
The second one.
How you feeling, Bejan?
Feeling great.
That's
I'm
good.
ready to do some burpees.
Always.
We are almost to lunch. We've been walking for, I think, over 4 hours at an elevation above 14,000 feet. This is definitely a difficult hike. We are going very slow, very methodical, and lunch is just over that ridge.
We did it, baby! Top of lava tower. Oh my god, that was hard.
That elevation is 4,600 feet.
Chris and Zahra here. Hey guys, you made it! We are here. 4,600 meters. Oh my freaking god, that's so high. Woo! Good job, team. So, this is the infamous, well, not that infamous, but it is the lava tower we just hiked up. It was really tough, but the team made it safely, soundly, and it's really cool. It's 4,600 meters, about 15,000 feet. I think this is the tallest I've ever climbed my entire life. And it's quite an amazing operation up here, because you see this little light green tent. They transported our toilet tent all the way up here, and then we've got our mess tent, which is that other green one where the group is in front of, and that was where they served us lunch. So they transported fresh food up this mountain and served us food with the glacier in the backdrop. What wild operation we have here. So cool.
We're at Lava Tower Camp. Everybody is set up. And that's the Lava Tower. And that's Chris and Zahra, and that's Kili.
For me, it was super surreal coming down from the lava tower and then back into the valley to go down into our campsite. The reason being that we were so high up, 15,000 feet. So like we were just surrounded by these layers and layers of fluffy white cloud. It was almost like we were flying on an airplane, but you have the ground under you and you are walking. There is solid ground underneath you. So it was a really out of body experience in a way, because I don't feel like I should be on the ground. I feel like I should be in the air. It was really, really magical. There's also something intrinsically mesmerizing about the landscape surrounding Lava Tower. We have all of these Martian rocks lying around. That's what it felt like. It was very arid, very dry because it is the alpine desert. But then you're surrounded by these pillowy clouds, these lava rocks, because Mount Kilimanjaro is one of the highest extinct volcanoes in the world. And then on the other side, you also have glaciers and ice fields. So it was this really fascinating combination of ice and fire. So guys, I am recording now. Any thoughts on what the scenery is like?
It feels like kind of like the moon. Maybe not.
It feels very familiar, yet completely new.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me a little of Iceland. Not as mossy.
We are surrounded by clouds. It's like we're flying,
Yeah.
but we're walking. And even though I've been higher than this, it's really, really rewarding to walk up this myself, because last time it was a cable car. And doing this with your own 2 feet, it's something totally different.
We are climbing down all of this and back into the moorlands. And then tomorrow we go up that line right there in the center frame.
Does any fruit come out of there?
No.
Flowers?
Yes.
Yeah.
When it gets really old.
Wow.
In case you're wondering, Zahra was asking about the strange looking plant that you see in front of you. It is called the giant groundsel, and it's something like a cross between a burnt up cactus and a pineapple. Very otherworldly looking. These alien looking plants can only be found on Mount Kilimanjaro between Lava Tower and Barranco Camp, about 14,000 feet. It needs to live in this forbidding environment in order to take the shape it does. And it's really cool because it has this really mutated way of storing water when the temperature is freezing overnight, but then it can also handle the arid type of alpine desert and moorland mix that is happening at that altitude. This is the part where Future Mary tells you that the recording was abruptly ended because everyone was dog tired. Now on to the next day.
We are on day 5. After night 4, we are heading up that trail, which you can't see. Zahra and Chris are packing up. Mary's already packed up. And that's where we came from. And this is the spot we get LTE signal at. So I'm gonna go collect that juicy LTE signal.
Oh, this is a really good LTE spot.
I told you. That was the descent of death. That's where I felt like I needed to vomit. But I came back and I made it down. And after a really good night's rest.
You did very well.
Yeah, well. We have a really good support. The team here they're tearing down our tent. They're putting away our packs. Couldn't have done it without them. Fantastic. So
Okay.
Welcome to day 5.
Welcome to day 5. This is what we woke up to this morning.
Beautiful.
Underneath a glacier.
So we're actually,
I just want in on it for a minute.
Yay!
you can see that we're going to be climbing up that rock face.
Yeah, all the way up and then around.
Rocks.
It's a little intimidating,
But we're going to be
but
fine.
we're gonna be fine. We're gonna take it pole.
We have
Slowly.
fantastic team helping us. And, yeah, it's going to be great. Believe it or not, this is tonight's going to be night 5,
Yeah.
which is the last full night before summit night.
And Bejan and Chris both feel a lot better. We had too quick of a descent yesterday, and they overexerted themselves and had huge headaches and weren't feeling very well.
Yeah.
But they're a lot better today, and we're going to take it slowly, ascent, descent, anything. We're going to be very, very careful, consistent, and steady. I'm still feeling great so far, so that's good.
That's where we're going. Right up there.
I have to say the Barranco Wall was one of our favorite days on the hike. It was this really famous wall of rocks that we had to scramble up with our arms and legs, and there are some parts that were so narrow that you basically have to hug the huge piece of rock and walk on it, because the ledge is so narrow that if you don't hug the rock in front of you, you might just kind of fall over. So it has a lot of kind of exhilarating parts to that hike, and just very unusual in the way that we have to scramble and use all parts of our body, right? And one of the things that I particularly liked about it is that the scenery, you are in this steep part of the hike, and you have these clouds like right next to you, because it's such a narrow ledge that it's not like over the horizon anymore. It's literally right next to you. So that was really phenomenal. We didn't capture a lot of the difficult parts of this hike and the scenery because we had to put everything away and use our hands a lot, including our poles and the GoPro. So we took very sporadic videos, but hopefully you got a sense of how exciting that hike was. One of the things that I do want to mention is that the hike itself wasn't that long that day. It was only about 5 kilometers, but because of the scramble up this 200-meter wall of rocks, it took, most of that time, even though the distance wasn't that far. But it was so much fun, and we all came out of it just feeling right above the clouds. We were feeling so high after that ascent and then going into our next camp.
How are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah. How was the climb today?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it was my favorite climb of the entire trip.
You said that yesterday too.
No, the descent was my favorite descent.
Yeah.
This was my favorite climb.
So yesterday, what made it magical was like we came up to the lava tower, which was a super difficult climb. We climbed 3,000 feet or so, 4 hours, and then we got to the lava tower. But then we were surrounded by the glacier, and there were like little waterfalls everywhere. And what else made it so special for us? The clouds.
Oh, it
was
just felt like we were on it felt like we were being on an airplane, but
Yeah.
not. Even this is spectacular.
And then today it's very
pan
different.
around, like it's just absolutely stunning. And I'll walk further out towards the ledge so you can see the full scope. But today, as Mary was saying, what made today so special was today we climbed Barranco Wall, which is quite literally the wall. So it involved a lot of scrambles and a whole lot of kind of almost jumping gaps where there was a sheer drop. So it was pretty fun. Very intense.
Afterwards, we had a really easy descent to Karanga Camp, and that was it for the day. So this is the end of part 2. See you in the next one.